who knows? You know, we got to get on with our lives. I'm very late. So those of you who are hashtag replay gang, please check the description box below. And I'm also very naked. So let me go and get some like accoutrement. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here just like, let's make sure that my audio is correct. I just jumped in. Oh, it's not at all. It is not plugged in at all. You're hearing raw, straight from my computer audio. Oh my God. What an unprofessional. What an unprofessional. Hello. Great. I've gotten the inspiration to do a charcuterie board for myself. So I'm going to go to the grocery store. So I got to get this party started. You know what I'm saying? So I get to the grocery store. Hello, everyone. Okay, starting from the beginning, we've got Tracy Young. Hi, Tracy. We've got Amanda. Hi, Amanda. I've never seen you before. Hello, Amanda. Welcome. You finally caught a live. Congratulations. Yes, we're here. Deanna Ortiz. Hello, Deanna. Okay, we've got Jasmine. We've got, girl, you haven't been here in a while. So is it Siana? Oh, I forgot. Joy, hello. How are you? Amy, hi. Sydney, welcome. Hello. Welcome. New name. Michelle McDaniels, new name. Love the color. Love that colorful outfit. Jana Lynn, hi. Ramsterdam is all the way from Amsterdam is in the house. Deidria Laquita, hello. You are a quiet subscriber. I've never seen your name before. Hi, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Mum of 8. Mum would lead you to believe that she might be from across the pond in London town, but she's not. She's in the Midwest. Babs, hey Babs, how are you? Stanley, how? I visited Squim, Washington this week. Stanley, was it exciting? Jasmine, 64 Dark Horse, how are you? Tracy, I love getting the WA notifications. Time, we love it. Better days. Hi, Jenna Lynn again. Oh, Amy, you're in New York. How exciting. Dania, how art thou? It wasn't very exciting. I mean, we didn't expect it to be. Anyways, let me go put some clothes on, okay? Because I'm naked right now. BRB. Okay, what happened is I put my clothes on, okay, and then I realized, oh, I made a beverage, I made a beverage, and then I didn't like do anything with it. So this is Nespresso, some kind of coffee, right up until about right here, and then I added some whole milk up until about right here. Then I added some other kind of milk, sweetener milk up into here, and ice. Let's see how it tastes. Oh, she hasn't lost her touch. She used to be a barista. She used to be a Starbucks barista. Okay. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Okay, she got her venti. She's ready. It's 7 o'clock. Let's get this party started. Let's get this party started. What are we talking right now? We're talking 90 Day Fiancé. Here we go. We've got everything together. Okay, and we've got this guy. Oh, save. We've got this guy. We've got this over here. Okay, got that queued up. We'll get at 45 or 50. Hey guys, it's Wahima, but just call me Wah. Melanated! Welcome to my recap of a 90 Day Fiancé, The Other Way, Season 4, Episode 10, One Hand Does Not Clap. The other? What? I mean, these titles of these episodes are really annoying. So if you guys are new to my channel, my name is Wah. I do recaps of relationship reality TV shows such as 90 Day Fiancé, Love After Lockup, Seeking Sister Wife, Seeking Brother Husband, things like that. So if you are at all interested in that content, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. If you at all get the hee ha-has while watching this, you can give your girl a tip. You see the thing scrolling across the screen. You can do that. I hope that you watched the full commercial or ad on this episode. That helps me out as well too. So welcome to the family. Leave your comments. If you're hashtag replay gang, like, we're excited to see you. I used to have a song. It used to go something like 6 p.m. in the evening, it's time to talk 90 Day. So go ahead and the other way. I used to know it. You know, if you're commenting here or your hashtag replay gang, we love it, and I love it, and I thank you so much for supporting my channel and supporting me, truthfully. Okay, let's get started. Nicole and Mahmoud. Okay, you guys, did we not? And did we not? I mean, I did not expect this couple to be as resilient as they have been. I really think that whoever produced their segment is doing a great job. Whoever edited their segment is doing a great job. Because the truth is that they have been fighting since episode 2, right? It's the moment she landed on the plane. They have been fighting. And so it felt like it was going to be very stagnant. But we've now got another episode where we're not seeing them fight. You know, they've decided that they're just not going to talk about their problems, and that's the reason why they're not fighting. And I'm not to say that that is the best thing in the world. It sounds awful. You know, it sounds like terrible if you're actually trying to make a relationship with somebody, but it's been 4 months. This is the longest she's ever stayed in Egypt. And she is dressed like one of the Jackson 5. She has put on a hat from the 70s. She looks like one of Fat Albert's friends, you know, like a garage kid or garbage pail kid. I don't know. But she has taken us all the way back. And she's very grateful because he's finally gotten her an air conditioning. And she says, "Thank you, my love." And he's like, you're so expensive. You have air conditioning 24 hours a day, you know. Okay. But in that moment, I understood. I am that American that goes to a humid, hot country and then is like, "Oh no, I require air conditioning. I require it. I'm not going to go into your home if there is no air conditioning. You can come to my home. You can come to my hotel. You can come to my uncle's house, but you are not. I'm not. I'm not. And I understand why you don't put it on. I get it. I cannot. I cannot be sweating while I'm just living my life. You know what I'm saying? I can't do it. I can't do it. So he's still doing that like backwards, like compliment type thing that I don't like. And it sucks for her because he's still doing it. Here's the song. I'm gonna sing it because everyone says they like it. Here it is. It's 6 p.m. in the evening. We're here to talk 90 Day. So stop on by and have a kiki. The drama of the other way. Set the time and the day. 5 after 6 on Sundays. Catch me live or hashtag replay gang. Either way, you've made my day. I found it. There we go. I should send it to myself so I always have it. Great. I will always have it. Thank you so much. Okay. Let's get back to it. So she says that she stays in the house for 20 or 12 hours a day, which is really hard on her, which it'd be hard on anybody. But that sounds like a choice. That sounds like a choice. After the first week, I would have Googled on what I could do. I would have figured it out. And she finally does. They go apartment hunting and he's just very frustrated at the whole, thing. He's like, we got to think about it. We got to think about it. We got to think about it. Hi, Shannon Van, welcome. We got to think about it. We got to think about it. He doesn't, they can't afford it, I guess. But my thought is, I'm not a window shopper. So I don't understand someone's need or desire to go and see things that they cannot have. Today I went to a flea market. It is one that happens twice a year here in Minnesota, and it's called Junk Bonanza. And I went in there thinking that, okay, these antiques, quote unquote antiques, because folks think everything they have is antiques, are going to be relatively expensive for what I would think something old and crusty should cost. Some of it was things repurposed, and some of it were truly antiques. I bought a handbag that is a nice green structured leather bag. It's giving a little like I'm a woman who likes to wear turquoise. And no judgment, but the women who like to wear turquoise jewelry also like enjoy like a good jeans. You know what I mean? They have a good pair of patinaed cowboy boots. You know what I'm saying? It's like a look. It's a vibe. There might be a jean skirt thrown in there. There might be a jean top. You know what I'm saying? It's a cowgirl, Midwestern, I might work for a dairy cow like vibe. I might have Native American roots or wish that I did vibe. I'm not hating on it, but I'm saying that woman would love this bag. And guess what? I love this bag too. I walked by that booth and I said to myself, if I walk by this booth again, because I took 2 spins. I did my first spin. I walked around, looked at things, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna take my next spin, walk around. And it was big. So I was there for almost 2 hours. And I wanted to buy a globe. I'm going on a tangent. Stay with me. I wanted to buy a globe because I feel like you don't really see them that often. And if you do see them, they're expensive. I saw a beautiful one that had a gold base, but somebody was buying it. And I picked it up and they turned around and they were like, oh, I'm actually buying this. And I was like, my bad. Anyways, I bought a jewelry box. I bought some old, like, racist poster. Bull Durham. I'll show you. It's not far. I have to frame it. Ready? Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I bought that. And I bought 3 mixing bowls that I thought were really cute for the fall. And they also had gold in them. But anyways, what was I going with this? What made me think of this? I don't know. Oh, I know what happened. Okay, so then so then I was like I went to this area where they were selling like jewelry. And I'm not a turquoise girl because there was a lot of turquoise jewelry. But then I was gonna sell this jewelry in a case. And I was like immediately thinking that it was like Ashley from Ashley and Travis of last season's Love After Lockup, where it's a person who like goes to estate sales and finds jewelry and then resells it. It was that exact situation. So I walked up and I was like, oh my God, this jewelry must be reasonably priced. No, it was not. I found a bangle that like did this, and on each end was a pearl. And I was like, may I see that? And I was like, okay, I can spend $200. You know what I'm saying? I could spend $250 on a bracelet. Girl, she said $850. I was like, don't even take it out. Don't even take it out. Put it right back in. Don't take it out. I don't even want to try it on. Because $850, I will not spend. No. It is dated. It is not even like of the 20. Okay, anyways. So that's why I don't window shop. I don't like to go look at things that I can't purchase. Okay, I went to an antiques show to buy cheap things. Even though that poster was $45. But I was like, I'll take it. Who else is going to buy it? Anybody who does buy it who isn't black, racist. So I'll just take that off your hands. Thank you very much. I almost bought a picnic basket, like an old-fashioned picnic basket. Anyways, so I'm not into that, but she did it and he got upset, so they walked away. And then we have a scene of her finally finding someone. She used Le Google and she figured out if she could, that she could have some friends. And she meets this woman named starts with an N. Narun. Okay, I didn't write it down. But no, Noran. Here it is. I did write it down. So Noran is doing an outside meditation where I'm pretty sure producers are like, "Hey, Nicole is on a TV show. Can we film this?" And she's like, "Sure." So then afterwards, she walks up to Nicole and she's like, "Hey, I haven't seen you here before." And Nicole's like, "Yeah, no, I'm new. She's like, so nice. I recently moved to, I guess Old Cairo. She didn't say that, but she recently moved to there. And she, is needing a little bit of Western vibe. So Narun is like, "Yeah, let's be best friends immediately. Tell me about your life." And Nicole tells her about her husband and how she married an Egyptian man. And Narun is like, "Oh, wow, you did that. It's crazy. I'm here because I have to be." So Nicole ends up giving a little bit too much information, right? But we're on a TV show, so we understand why it happens. But she ends up giving a little too much information about her husband. And Narun is like, "Yeah, Egyptian men will do that. Egyptian men will see an exotic woman and love bomb the hell out of them, and the love is real. But they will do that, and then they will convert you to their very conservative ways, and that is the expectation." And she's like, "Yeah, that's what he did to me." And I wanted to say, Nahrun or Nuran, I want to say, don't be fooled by the blonde pixie cut. This is a 38-year-old woman who has made the choice to do this. She's not 24. She's not 21. She's not little Avery of Avery and Omar. You know what I'm saying? And that didn't happen with them, but I'm saying she's not young. She's a seasoned woman who should know better than to make promises to do something in a conservative environment that she isn't willing to adhere to. So we go on with that. Then we have a scene where Nicole and Mahmoud are having chickpeas hummus, which is not hummus tahini, as Chris, if you listen to the podcast or you're a Patreon person, then you would know that like hummus, what we know here as hummus, is hummus tahini in other Arab nations, because hummus simply is the translation of the word chickpea or garbanzo bean. Okay, so hummus doesn't necessarily mean ground up, pureed with tahini and garlic and lemon and salt, that paste that we love and love so dear, that Sabra has just decimated. It's not the same thing. So she's on the side of the road. And this is where I was like, any bridge overpass where there are motorcycles and other vehicles with exhaust zooming by me. This is not like it's all electric cars where there's no pollution to be had. There is a lot of pollution. Could you imagine just sitting by the side of the road? Now I know it happens. And it's an event and it is a situation, but it's not something that I would like fully love. I was just like, these are some dusty hummus, eateries. So she then tells Mahmoud about her new friend and immediately tells Mahmoud that the new friend is hip and with it and understands where she might be coming from. And Mahmoud is like, oh, I don't think you should be friends with this person. This person is going to be somebody who's going to shit talk me because this is a person who doesn't like men. Not only is this Mahmoud completely snatches away everything that she is and boils it down to that this person doesn't like men. I think that when a man immediately jumps to the idea that a woman simply just doesn't like men as a reason for her frustration or her anger towards the way annoying shit is happening to her and her country and and people that look like her, I just think that, oh, I can't be with you. And it's just really interesting to me that Nicole has found herself in a situation and with a man whose immediate thought is she doesn't like men. But the truth is, there's sometimes I think of men who don't like women. Like, I'm like, oh, you don't respect and like women. But I know men who actually do not feel like they could be friends with a woman. There are men who are like, no, any woman that thinks myself her friend is wrong because I have either slept with her or are thinking about sleeping with her. And so therefore she's not a friend. She's like crazy. Is my timeline frozen? Because no one has left a comment in since 7:12 in 3 minutes. Wait, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 5 minutes. That's wild. Okay, anyways. So he's already going into this situation thinking that he's not going to like this woman. Oh, thank you, Yuzel. Thank you. So he then meets with the lady Nuhran. And before this, remember Nuhran tells her about New Cairo and how she's living in a very conservative part of Cairo. Maybe Nicole's in a depression because I think I would have found my way to New Cairo. I think I would have found my way there. I think I would have just been moving about the streets 12 hours a day. She would rather stay in the home for 12 hours a day than walk or travel somewhere. Maybe you can't Google it as readily. maybe you can't Google it as readily. I just don't know. So she then wears this puffy sleeved outfit and she goes and she meets with Nauran and Mahmoud. I'm wondering why she had to introduce Mahmoud to Nauran, besides the fact that it makes the most sense if you're on a TV show. Why was it necessary? It felt put on. And then Nahran, no, I'm going to say this woman's name wrong, and I try so hard. Nahran just does her best to fight with Mahmoud, and I don't like it. She completely defeats the purpose of trying to have a conversation with a conservative by behaving the way she behaved. That argument between Nahran and Mahmoud was really hard to watch. And Nicole is not equipped to be able to stop those conversations, even though I feel like she started it by telling Mahmoud about Nahran and setting her up in that manner to have this kind of argument. And Nahran is not her friend, y'all. She just met that woman. So she says that she's really proud of her husband for standing up and arguing in a language that he doesn't readily or he doesn't speak as well. And I would say I was on his side in that. It was like, you can think however you want to think, but she married me. And this is how I choose to live. And it makes me a little bit more sad for Nicole, and it makes me go, you need to get out of this situation. He keeps saying Egyptian women, and that's not true. We have Nahran here, who is an Egyptian woman. Also, this is one thing that Chris did say, if you listen to the podcast, that she didn't understand why they weren't actually arguing in Arabic, why they were trying to argue in English. It might have been, he might have been able to express himself more with that. Then they went into what the Quran says and the interpretation of the Quran and all those things, which, you know, I know plenty of Muslim women who do not wear hijabs because they're like, listen, I love my religion, but there's only so far I'm going to go with it. And I don't take that version of it. And here, listen. So Old Cairo to New Cairo is a 35-minute drive. Oh, that's a long time. That's a lot of Ubers. That's a lot of Uber. Hi, Kelly. I'm happy to actually catch a live show of yours. I'm usually on a replay game, and I hope the Cash App. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Okay. So then let's move on to Rishi and Jen. So Rishi and Jen have a cute little segment where they first meet each other, and he is. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So Rishi and Jen, getting myself together. So first start off with Rishi and Jen, where Rishi is gone to meet his friend Nitesh, who looks like an Arab fuckboy to me. He looks like an Arab, like just like he doesn't even look Indian. He looks Arab, first of all, and he looks like a mama's boy who just wastes every woman's time. Okay. He's wearing a loud, busy shirt, and he's sitting on the second story of a what looks like a residential home, and they've decided to turn it into some kind of weird belly dancing, not belly dancing, like brothel type stripper joint, and no clothes are taken off, and women are just dancing. So women are just dancing, and they come out and they dance a dance that isn't a normally danced dance. And this woman was terrible at it. And if she was good at it, I want to see somebody else doing it to better understand what's going on. She threw herself on the floor. I mean, she's far more limber than me. Threw herself on the floor. And then he has the tiniest hookah. It is just like I was like, where are you guys and why are you here? We find out that not only is the Arabic looking mama's boy, he's also an astrologer. And Jen and Rishi have and, you know, in the B-roll, the footage that was on the bottom of the editing floor was replayed, in which they saw this man, and this man said he was wearing dark navy at the time, so he was looking way more astrologer like. And basically, he's like, y'all are gonna have an uphill battle. Nobody's gonna appreciate this. Nobody's gonna want this. Like, not gonna work. Okay, not gonna work. And so he goes to get another reading from this guy, and the guy's like, listen, it's still not a good match. Okay, astrologically, not good. And my thought was, they go to you for this advice, and you're saying that astrologically the match is not good. So does that mean that it's just not good, period? Like, what do you mean astrologically? That's what they're going there for. So your stance should be it's not good, period. Hold on, let me get myself in a better. Okay, astrologically is not good. But the best time to tell your family what's going to happen is August 2nd at 4 p.m. Okay? Not a moment too soon. Right at that moment. August 2nd, 4 p.m. Jaipur time is when you should tell your family about her. And they're not going to like it, but they're going to like it a little less at 4 p.m. and you have 50 days until then. So I'm like, wow, we're watching this almost a year later. Where are they now? We all wonder. So he then prepares an apartment for her as he did the last time, except for this time he's doing it better. Okay, this time he's not going to mess up and do something stupid and not get her some blankets, not have some plates and stuff for her. And so he sets it all up for her. And she's like, thank you so much. And I'm happy for him. It's like, good for him. It took him this long to figure out what he should be doing. So happy for you. So she gets to the home. They have a good little makeout session. And I felt the heat through the cameras. And normally you see these couples kiss and I'm like, But Rishi and Jen kissing, I just want them to have sex. I'm tired of her holding out on him. They should have sex because they feel like they both want it. They both need it. It's been 2 years. So she's still upset though about the fact that he was sending, pictures of him half naked to her friend who said she was a model. Now, he decides that they're going to go and get some oil therapy, which she absolutely loves. And so they go and they do the drip oil therapy while somebody's like rubbing your scalp as oil is dripping on your scalp. And I'm like, do they repurpose that oil? Do they make you wash your hair before you use the oil? I just have questions. You know what I'm saying? Do they boil the oil and then do they like cool it down so that it gets rid of all the germies? I don't know. So afterwards, Jen finds this an appropriate time to talk to him about him flirting with other women online. And he's smiling at her halfway. And I think it's either like, oh shit, or like, who cares? I don't know. Because he's like, yeah, it maybe sent it. It's just talking online, babe. And she's like, but you sent a half naked photo. He's like, no. And then she shows him, he's like, it's a post. And that's valid. If somebody comes onto your site and all you do is talk about how awesome your body is, right? Speaking of how awesome his body is, I was very shocked to not see Rishi with a six pack. Did anybody else expect to see him with a six pack? Now, I'm not saying that his body, anything wrong. Let's not try to body shame him. I just expected to see tight and right. Okay. And I didn't see it. I was waiting for this body reveal, and that's not the body I was given. So she confronts him about it, and he's like, I sent her a post that had already been posted on the internet, and I thought the same thing. I said, if he has an Instagram and he took those photos, he most likely already had those photos in his repertoire. Those are not something that he was just exclusively sending her. This is something that he has sent to the entire world. And so he's like, I don't understand the big deal. She's like, you made plans to meet her. He's like, no, I didn't. And she's like, I have the text messages here. And he's like, no, I wasn't making plans. If she was in Jaipur, then she was in Jaipur and maybe I would meet up with her. And I just was like, I don't understand why Jen is like, why are you meeting up with this person? If the woman said, I'm a model, I'm coming to Jaipur, maybe we can work together. Why is that such a bad thing? What? It's not like this woman was just like, hey, I'm an American woman from Nebraska and I want to come. You're so hot. I want to come to Jaipur to meet you. And I'm in love with you. Like, that is the thing that I think Jen should be jealous of. So this feels like extremely put on. So she's like, all I ever told you was to tell me the truth. All I ever said was tell me the truth, and you're not telling me the truth. And he's just like, okay, whatever. She's like, is that your final answer? This, I mean, it's for TV. It's for TV. So I'm not going to like make fun of it. Okay, next couple that we are going to talk about briefly is Gabe and Isabel. So Gabe meets with Isabel's dad in the park. They talk about the fact that he's trans, and he talks about feeling like being being misgendered or being his birth gender was not something that he ever felt comfortable with completely. And it just felt like there was an extra part of him, or an imaginary arm, is what he said. And I thought that was a really good explanation of it for those who still have a feeling about folks being trans. And he was very brave to do so. And I always say that Gabe is very brave for that. And um, the dad, I think, sees some pictures of Gabe prior to the transition, and Gabe has a hard time looking at that. It's not body dysmorphia. It is I can't think of it. There's a term for when trans folks have to see pictures or think about them. It's like a disassociation type thing. I can't think of the word for it, but I guess I just feel so terrible for people who just can't be allowed to be who they are, that isn't hurting anybody and isn't hurting themselves. There's a lot of things that I don't get in this world, but I would never stop someone else for trying to live their truth and be happy, as long as they're not hurting anyone else or hurting themselves and they're living their best life. Let them do it. So he gets the permission to engage to Isabel. They go to the pottery place and he asks her for her hand in marriage, and she cries, and they're all very happy. Okay, next couple. Jamie and Chris. Now, Jamie and Chris are walking around and they start to talk about the food truck that they've been thinking about having this entire time. And we're like, you guys have been wanting a food truck? The way that they talk about their relationship is like, we've been planning it for a whole year. I'm like, 365 days, and for 2 months of that, you ignored her? I need them to better tell me their timeline, because right now it feels like they are just acting as though a year is so long. So long, and they've been making these great plans. Now, Jamie doesn't have any money. Chris is the one with all the money. And so they start to now look around for these food trucks, get prices on these food trucks, and Chris gets cold feet. Chris is just like, yeah, I don't think we can do this because we need to like plan out how we are gonna feed people and how much food we need to. And all of a sudden she wants to get into these finite details. And she's like, yeah, I guess I didn't think about this when we were planning it for all this time. I didn't think about the practicalities of everything. And they look at this zombie food truck, and Chris is like, this is so cool. This is it. And all I can think about is, when you have such a small, tight space, A, is it hot in there? B, are there going to be crumbs and shit in corners that you can't reach? And C, like, what are you going to change the zombie thing into? Are you going to change it into something else? I just don't know. I just do not know. It just feels like they're very haphazard in the whole thing. And then we find out that she's got to go home to get her narcolepsy medication because there are no people in Colombia who have narcolepsy. Can you hear my neighbors outside talking? Somebody was like, hey, I'm making this thing. You want some? He's like, can I text you? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, I would like to know what food you're sharing. How do you guys know each other? You know what's funny? In my apartment building, there's a lot of people who work for um, General Mills, the cereal company. And I feel like lots of folks know each other because of that. So I'm like, should I apply for General Mills? So yeah, so then she's like, oh, I gotta go home. And I'm like, listen, they may not have the exact same medication, but they must have something to treat narcolepsy. Yeah, it just feels real suspect. Like, why can't her doctor just send her the medication? Or why can't the family just send her the medication? One. Two, she knew she was moving Why didn't she set everything up so that she didn't have to actually go back to the States? I mean, I can see you having to go back to the States like once a year to see the doctor to actually get some more medication. I don't know. I just don't know. It seems very suspect to me. She can't get a doctor there. She only brought a month's worth of medication with her. These are all just weird things to me. If that were me and I had a disease, I would go to my doctor and say, "Hey, I'm moving to Colombia. Can I get 6 months worth of supplies? Or can you ship me supplies if I just like do a video call with you?" Like I would have set something up so that I would have been able to. But this like surprise, I got to go back to the States because I don't have my medication here is crazy. And she's like, I'm leaving you this trinket because you know how important it is to me. Listen, if somebody were to, if I wanted to make somebody feel good about me leaving, a trinket wouldn't be it. Because I'm gonna give anything. If I need to go home because I need to go home because I don't want to be here no more, I would leave you my wedding ring. Here you go. You can keep this wedding ring. Because I'm being the States, I can get another one. You know how much this trinket means to me. I'm leaving it with you, so you know I'm gonna come back. And Jamie's very upset. What does Jamie even see in Chris, y'all? What personality traits does this person see in Chris? I don't get it. I'm not here for it. Hey, Soraya. How are you? I haven't seen you so long. I'm glad you made it. I think Colombia might have restrictions on the amount of certain drugs you can bring into the country. I haven't been to Colombia. I'm going to say that. But any other country I've been in, I've taken medication with me and they've not said anything. I mean, how are they going to know? They're not going to know. So, anyways, seems very suspicious. Okay, now let's move on to Osama. Osama. Okay, so these two fools. Y'all, we get the craziest of the craziest of the crazies in this one. Let me see if we still have it. Chris might have. We did it for Docu Sweeties. So let me see if Chris added the boop boop beep doop. We have this. She's crazy babushka outfit. We have this. This. Like, look at this. The speeding traffic and she's trying to eat food. Jamie in the zombie bus. No, I don't have it. Okay. Well, sorry, you guys. We don't have it in here. Okay. Anywho, Osama and Debbie. Osama. Okay. So we're at a poetry reading and it's at an international cafe. So everyone's reading their poetry in English. And she's like, "We don't have anything like this in Sugar Hill. Oh, everyone's so talented and showing their art." And, this is just, I mean, there is a moment in time where this kind of passive artistry is allowed to flourish. Because as I am stuck in the middle of the time pre-retirement, I'm like, this feels like such a waste of time. Like I definitely was like this 21-year-old, 22-year-old, like sitting in cafes, writing poetry, thinking really deep about all of my dark, brooding feelings, very Winona Ryder, very Tim Burton, and I watched this scene and I watched this 67-year-old woman be like, "Oh, everyone's so talented." It's like those older people who would come to my college plays and be like, "You guys are so great. That was such a great show." And now I go and see college plays and I'm like, "Oh my God, this was awful. Oh my God, were we this awful? Was I this awful?" Listen, I mean, sometimes you sit down and you watch a play and you're just like, "Damn, I was bad." And I'm like, did my dad just like tell me it was good because he's my dad? Was I that awful? My dad. I'm like, Dad, was it awful? And he's like, no, it was good, Wahima. I'm like, you can tell me the truth. It's just like that is what it was. It was like I was watching things and I was like, oh my God, that was me at some point in my life. And I was awful. And it's like, then Osama gets up there and it's a complete surprise to Debbie. And he's like, oh my God, I don't have the words anymore. I didn't write them down. He's like, you have my bones. Oh, I don't know it. I can't believe I let you guys down this way. Listen to Docu Sweeties. You'll hear us go through it over and over again. But he's like, Debbie is my sun and moon, and her bones make me happy. My bones are filled with so much joy. And you're just like, what? And then afterwards, he gets a raucous applause. And we're like, did they hear what we heard? And she's just like, there's Osama up there acknowledging me in front of all these people. That's my Osama. And we're like, will we ever be this delusional? Is this my future? Is this my future? What if some young whippersnapper just sweeps me off my feet at 67 and I don't have anyone to take care of me and I just allow some brown-toothed foreign 24-year-old to sweep me off my feet? Babs. Babs. Oh yeah, Babs is like, the last time I was talking about boomers, Babs was like, I'm a boomer. And listen, Babs, when I am talking about boomers, I'm not talking about you because you are not my parents. I'm talking about my parents. I'm talking about my 70-year-old boomer family. No. Oh my God. That's so great. No, I mean, it could be like, I've been like thinking about how old my aunts are. I have an aunt who's like a sprite 65, and I have an aunt that's like a sprightly 63, or maybe she's like a 59. I'm not going to say which one it is because they'll be mad at me. But I could definitely see them. No, I couldn't see them getting wound up with a person. But I mean, one of them, she might just be like, what do I got to lose? I'm not going to marry him. I'm not going to marry him. You're right. I wouldn't marry him. What if I wanted to give him some money? Listen, the idea of me wanting to give anyone any money is wild. It's wild. Okay. So we're gonna see next episode. Tomorrow's episode, we're gonna see Osama, Debbie meet Osama's family. I think I mean, whew, if I can watch it in time, I'll go live on Sunday to talk about it. He claimed me in front of everyone. Me and Osama. You never know. You never know. I'm in my 30s and I can't see me with yeah, no, you're right. I can't now. But here's the truth. Here's what it is. This is the theory that I've come up with. Women who have their own money and don't need a man for anything but companionship and snuggles. I think that if I were in a place where truly I'm independent. I just feel like I'm one tragedy away from being in debt. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't feel completely solid. I need to still work. I know people who are my age who could who could lose their job and still survive for a couple months, but I would have to dip into my savings, like my life savings, not my like fun savings for when I do too much in 1 month. Like I'd have to dip into my actual savings in order to survive. So I think when you're at a place where everything is paid off, or you're getting a good pension and you don't actually have to go to work, and you can do a little side business the way Debbie was doing her side business. I think when you're super solid financially for the rest of your days, I think that you might feel like you could just fuck around with a little 24-year-old. I mean, think about it. What, you don't need them for anything but companionship and snuggles. Dedra, you know what I mean by snuggles. Debbie is Carol Channing. Oh, Debbie is Carol Channing. Oh, yeah, kind of. Can we continue the rest live? And I'll try. Here we go. Okay, so the next couple we're going to talk about is Johan and Danielle. Okay, for Johan and Danielle. Danielle wants to see her ex-boyfriend. And Johan says there'll be consequences. What those consequences are, he doesn't want to say. But Danielle feels like it's going to be a long, long life if Johan won't let her see her friends. So they leave the bar after having a couple of beers. But it's too many beers for Danielle. So, she has to tell Johan, hey, dude, get out of the car. But that guy, he won't listen. So Danielle, she sits right on his lap. And it's a weird, awkward moment for all of those that are watching. But she loves him. And she doesn't want him to die in a car accident. So she says, I'll get off of your lap, Johan, pero dame las llaves. Dame las llaves. Or el llaves. Yo no sé. Porque mi español es muy malo. Oh. Finally, Johan gives her the keys. But he feels like less of a man because of it. And on the way, as normal, Danielle, tengo un preguntas. I can't do it anymore. I can't do it anymore. I can't do it anymore. You guys are crazy. Who gave me that idea to do it? Poor Johan. Oh my god. Oh, Beth. That was Beth P. Thank you, Beth. Thank you for the suggestion. Okay. All right. Thank you guys. I'm like, hey, it's like a lot. It's a lot. Okay, what else happened to these pool? I don't know. Danielle's annoying, right? I mean, and she's fighting for her life on these YouTube streets. I mean, in internet streets. She is constantly going live, just downing the haters. Her and Cameron are just like fighting the good fight against the haters. And we always think like it's those people who don't realize they're getting such a bad edit. Like I think in her mind, she felt like she was being such a strong woman who knows exactly what she wants, and she's not going to let this poor man tell her what to do. But the truth is that if the shoe were on the other foot, she would be very upset if he hung out with his ex. She got mad because the ex had an abortion and he didn't tell her. So I don't know what else is going to go on. So, all right, you guys, that is the end of this episode. I'm going to go down to around the corner to this place and look for some items so that I can make myself a charcuterie board. First and foremost, some Pinot Noir. So I'll be back at 8:30, which is in about 40 minutes from now, and we're going to talk about Love is Blind. Okay, I'll do my very best. Thank you guys so much for joining me. See you in 40 minutes. Get yourself a cocktail, get yourself a snack, and we'll be back. All right, remember to be you, be true, and find your place. Bye. Jump in the line, rock your body on time. Okay, I believe you. Jump in the line, rock your body on time. Shake, 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 Sinora.